up and running. It was a project. From my best estimate, it's a 1939 to 42, somewhere in that area. Simplex Servi Cycle, made in Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana. When I got it, it was just a rusty frame. I kept it original. The wheels are off of a 50s model Simplex Servi Cycle. I believe the tank, which I got extra, I got off of eBay, but I believe it's period correct for it. The gas cap is actually an oil or gas cap from a 1916 to 1936 Harley Davidson, but it's the exact same fit. This was a complete solid rust bucket when I got it. I put a engine off of a Coleman mini bike, which I believe is the same thing as a Harbor Freight motor, but it had a lighting coil. So I was able to salvage the light bucket, which is a little bit rusty. So it's kind of a resto rat rod bike. The handlebars are original, the forks are original, the springs were cracked, I welded those. I don't need a whole lot of spring. The seat's original. The engine, like I said, came from a Coleman mini bike. So did I kind of fabricated the kickstand, because that's not where the kickstand would go, but it's bolts on. The kickstand would have been more underneath the foot peg. I left as much on it as I could original. I fabricated the engine mount, bolted it onto the original plate that the engine would have been on. I found a fuel filter. It's period correct, I believe. I'm going to put a new, I had to modify the jack shaft, make that. I need to put a belt tensioner on it. It's a little bit loose. And that rear sprocket is only 12 teeth, and I got a 17 tooth sprocket on its way. That should pick up the acceleration a little bit when I put that on there. But other than that, it was a blast. I put a air filter kit on there to fit it, because the one on the motor didn't fit. I don't know about the exhaust, it works, but I might modify that a little bit better. I'm still looking for a rear fender. The tire is, for the front, is correct size, but it's not the original tire. The tire on the rear is a Servi Cycle tire that came with the wheels that I bought. Had to modify the brake rod that came off of, and the brake lever. I had to bring the brake lever out further. It was solid rust in. I had to drill that out, weld another 1/2 inch rod onto it, and pull it out about 4 inches to the right side of the bike to clear the engine. I left the petcock fuel line that came with the tank, which I believe is original, on there. Other than that, the throttle grips came off of the donor bike. Like I said, was a Coleman mini bike. Somebody had welded some sort of, my guess is probably a rear view mirror, or not welded, but brazed. The whole frame is brazed together. All the joints were brazed. So that's, like I said, best guess that I can think of for that frame, after looking at endless pictures and research, was about a 1939, based on the front fender, which came with it, the fender stays, and the springs. These springs actually rusted off, but they came up about another inch or two off the top. I left it the way it was, but the springs were actually extended out the length. The later bikes actually had longer, they eliminated the top spring and just had a longer spring altogether. Original gooseneck or stem. The full front end is basically the same as a bicycle. So I'm going to try to set this down and see if I can get a pull start on it. Bear with me here. Gas is on. This engine really has some kick, so you have to throttle off, on. Lighting coil in the engine. I'm going to fit some rear light onto it still. I just haven't figured that out yet. I don't want to give it too much throttle because it don't want to go. There you have it. A lot of fun. It was a big project. It's not a complete restoration, but it's for riding. I can't take a break till I take it to the show. Thank you.